Good evening, and thank you for coming tonight. We're about to get started. If you would please join me in standing for the national anthem and the presentation of colors by our Naval JROTC. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, where so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Katie Ramadi. I'm one of the assistant principals here at Seneca. I'm currently in charge of the 9th grade team, so I've met some of you already. Wanted to thank the color guard. If your student is interested in ROTC, you'll learn a little bit more about that later tonight. We are here tonight to learn more about our programs, our electives. A lot of information is going to be shared with you, and the good news is that Mr. Yarmus and the counseling team, they've done a really good job of putting all of the resources for you in one place. You can find everything that they're talking about tonight, the slideshow, even a recording of tonight's presentation in our registration link that's available on the website. So because of the 1 hour that we have, we are going to go through a lot of information quickly, but the good news is your students are getting this information already. They've been hearing it all week. They have their registration cards, so a lot of the information that they're sharing with you tonight is going to seem familiar to them, and you can talk to them about it when you get home as well. And again, everything is available for you online, and I forgot to thank Marcus, who sang that anthem for us, and some of you already know who he is. He's very talented student in our music program. Dr. Cohen was unavailable to be here with you. He sends his regrets. He was just like a lot of us right after the holidays. He was feeling under the weather. He was hoping that he could make it tonight, but he was not able to. So he sends his regards, and here's Mr. Yarmus.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ramadi, and thank you all for being here tonight. My name is Mr. Yarmus. I'm the resource counselor, and I know I see a lot of familiar faces, and we're so happy you came out tonight. Appreciate your time. I know it's not easy to get out on a weeknight, and we're grateful you're here. And I hope this is going to be a rewarding and valuable use of your time. We spent a lot of time getting ready for this presentation, and hopefully this is going to impact you by making the registration process for choosing your classes for next year more informed and a smoother process, and that's what this is all about. So before we go any further, I want to quickly share the overall plan for tonight. You're going to get to, if you don't already know, the Seneca Valley Counseling Team, this amazing team of counselors. They're here. I'm going to show you who they are, and you're going to hear from each of them. We're going to go over for you your MCPS graduation requirements and the process for registration. We're going to talk about, you're going to hear a lot about the special programs that are available to you as a Seneca Valley student, and we're going to get you ready for registration. As Ms. Ramadi said, over the past week, you've been hearing a lot about registration. You've received your registration cards, and starting Monday, English classes will be coming down to the Counseling Services suite to meet with counselors directly to register. So that's what this is all about. Just want to quickly show you your counselors here. We've got Mrs. Fellows, we have Mr. Singh, Mr. Martinez, Mr. Grinley, Ms. Kanai, Ms. Harrison, and Ms. Watson. So let's have a big round of applause for our Seneca Valley counselors. Also want to give a shout out to the amazing Seneca Valley administrators. You heard from Ms. Ramadi, and also tonight we have Ms. Heckert here. Let's hear it for them. Two of our assistant principals who are giving their time to be here tonight. Also, I just want to quickly show you, we have a large team in counseling services, and many of the other faces that students will see as they come in and out of the counseling suite are up here on the screen for you. A wonderful team and a wonderful group. So our administrators, as Ms. Ramadi mentioned, we have, of course, Dr. Cohen, who wished he could be here tonight. Ms. Ramadi and Ms. Heckert also not here tonight, but great administrators. We have Ms. Crawford, Dr. Kim, Ms. Wanzer, and Ms. Riddick. So a lot of information going to come at you in the next hour. There's going to be a test at the end, so I hope you're taking notes. Just kidding. Everything we're doing is being recorded. Everything is on the website. The slides I'm showing you are already posted on our registration website. And what is the Seneca Valley registration website? Well, it's a great resource that has everything you need to know about making informed decisions about your classes for next year. So where do you find this website? Just go to Seneca Valley's main page. At the top of the page, you'll see a tab for 2023-24 registration. When you enter that site, you will find all sorts of great stuff, really well organized. You'll find links to the registration cards you received. If you lose your card, which I know you won't because it's a pretty color and it's cardstock, but if you happen to, you could print out a new one from the website. You can find your counselor. You can find the course bulletin, the MCPS course bulletin, AP info, IB info, dual enrollment info. Everything that you need to know to register is on this website. And we're going to break down all of these things here tonight. And talking about registration cards, I'm going to hand the mic to Mrs. Fellows, who's going to talk about that.
Mr. Yarmus neglected to tell you that one of the quiz questions is, who's the oldest counselor? Just kidding. That's me. I've been here 11 years. Ellen Fellows, so excited. Don't call me old. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Okay, so we are super excited that next week we're going to be doing registration with your students. They will come down through their English classes, and you will receive, they will receive a registration card based on the grade they're going into. Make sure your student fills it out completely on both sides. And you guys get to put your signature on there, aren't you? You've never signed anything for your student before, have you? Oh, yeah, you have. Okay, so on the back, there are several details that I wanted to go over. Just Make sure as you're selecting the courses that you're paying attention to the graduation requirements, which Mr. Yarmus had stated was on our website, so you can see what is required. You're going to complete both sides of the card. There are 7 periods in a day, so you don't want to select more than 7 classes. You're going to use pencil until you make your final decisions, because a lot of kids want to change their mind and they're really like worked up over it, but don't panic. You're going to contact the counselor with questions, and they're going to get to meet with us, and we totally love this because we individually meet with every student when they come down through their classes. Also, don't forget to write 3 alternative electives. If you could really emphasize that for us, because a lot of kids are like, I want these 7 and I don't want anything else. Sometimes we have to switch something out, so we want to give them something that they want, et cetera, et cetera. So you will meet, the students will meet to review the individual courses. Don't freak when you see the date, January 9th through the 18th. When it says the 9th, it doesn't mean that's your day. We have the all English classes scheduled throughout the entire week. So you have from now throughout the week, you're going to be really taking a look, making sure you know what classes you're going to be taking. But then when you come down to us, if you have questions, all of those can be answered individually. You'll have your cards carefully completed. Students have already been asking us, and they're super excited, which we are as well. And then you're going to have them signed by January 9th so that they're ready to have that card with them when they come down. And then there are sample planners for you if you wanted to review those again. I think you've seen them before. You guys are really experts on this now because you've had your kids going through at least a year here. And then those of you who like to write everything out, some students really like to write everything out, others not so much, but you can write out each year to make sure that you're matching the graduation requirements. Lots of students use this graduation status summary on their student view, and they can see that by clicking on the course history. So you can see how close to meeting the requirements you are by looking on here. And students come down and they're like, wait, I thought I took my tech, and they can see it on there, and we talk about it all the time. So it's pretty a nice tool for them. Also, you can see their the service learning hours. I'm the coordinator, to see how far they, as you know, we have 75 hours for that, and you can't graduate without getting those. So you can look on that through the student view. Alrighty.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Mr. Singh. So you'll find all the courses that your child can take on the registration card. And also, if you look at the course bulletin, which is on the school website, you'll find a list of courses, and you can also find the description of those courses. And this is the MCPS course bulletin. And here you will find both the courses and course descriptions that are offered to all of MCPS students. Just a quick note that not all of these courses in this course bulletin are offered to students at Seneca Valley High School. Okay, so on our registration website, you'll also find course descriptions of courses, and this is really important and really neat. It's broken down by department, so under each department, you'll see all the courses that are offered and a really good description of those courses. And you'll also find the core courses sequence, sorry. It's very simple. It kind of tells you what courses you can take in 10th grade year, and then what are your options for 11th, 12th. So this is where you can find your teacher's recommendations. So teachers are currently putting recommendations for courses for next year for your for your child, and you can go to Student View, and under Course Requests, you should be able to see those courses starting Friday. So now we'll look at some exciting stuff, graduation requirements. All right, so you need a total of 22 credits to graduate, 75 SSL hours, and then meet the state testing requirements. And you can also find grade-specific graduation requirements on the website. It's basically that piece of paper, okay? So this is a breakdown of all the graduation requirements. Starting with English, you need 4 credits of English, so you have to take English all 4 years. Math, it's the same, 4 credits. You got to take it all 4 years. You need a credit of algebra and geometry. 3 social studies credits, U.S. history, national, state, and local government, and modern world history or IB history, okay? 3 credits of science, a credit of fine art, a credit of PE, and then health, depending either half a credit or a full credit, depending on your graduation year. 2025 onwards, it's a full credit. 1 credit of technology, and then 2 credits of a world language, and then either 2 or 2.5 credits of an elective, or you could also do the program of study, which could serve as your completer as well, okay? And this is a really neat chart. It shows you how your child can be promoted. So at the end of each year, the total number of credits are listed, and that's how many credits they need in order to graduate, and the specifics are in the chart. Next, we'll hear from Ms. Ezerski, our IB coordinator.
Good evening. Thank you. So we are a wall-to-wall IB school. That means all of our students have the opportunity to engage in an IB program. In 9th and 10th, they're all part of the middle years program. And then in 11th and 12th grade, they can choose to do our DP program or our career-related program, or they can take individual IB courses. And that little QR code on the bottom, that will link you directly to our website that provides more information to you. So the IB programs at Seneca Valley. So IB is around the world, so whatever we learn here, they're learning in Australia, they're learning in Japan. So the IB education focuses on the whole student. So we're not looking just at their academic skills, we're also helping them with their social, emotional development. We also help them build that academic toolkit. So they're getting their critical thinking skills, their self-management skills, time management skills, and we're helping them understand their content with those big concepts. And then, of course, IB, the international understanding and respect through that international mindedness. So in 9th and 10th grade, again, all of our students are MYP students, so they don't have to apply when they come into Seneca Valley. They're automatically considered IB students. So we'll actually become authorized in the spring. So our 9th graders will be the first class that actually is part of the authorization process. So being MYP aligned, all of our 9th and 10th grade classes are MYP aligned. So we follow what MCPS and Maryland requires us to do, but we also frame our teaching with these big concepts. So for instance, with change, we might look at change in with humans in social sciences. In science, we might look at the change with our environment. So if you are 10th grade and you're thinking about doing the IB, CP, or DP, these are some suggestions. So take honors courses, do that APUSH in 10th grade so that you get some of that rigor and you're challenging yourself. Consider approaches to learning. So if you're a little worried about accessing that AP course or taking more honors courses, approaches to learning will help your students build the skills they need. Commit to the learning challenges. So it's a little different as we go through each year. It gets more challenging, but they need to embrace those challenges, and we're going to guide them through that. Continue or start a world language, so Spanish or French. Map out your graduation requirements. So the counselors have talked over and over about that. So you have tons of resources here to help you do that. And then try to complete all of those graduation requirements, the PE tech, so that you have more flexibility in 11th and 12th grade. And then if you are currently in 10th, hopefully your student is involved in that MYP project, the interest project, so they pick something of interest. We have students that have made their own music videos. We've had students that have crocheted hats for infants in hospitals, so they pick whatever is of interest to them. And then if you have a student that's going into 11th grade, they have the opportunity to be engaged in the IB diploma program. So that's kind of seen as the gold standard preparatory program for our students. So if you went to a college and they asked what's the most rigorous program at Seneca, this would be the most rigorous program. So they are learning not only that content, but we're really helping them build the skill set that they need when they leave us, that they're going to be successful in college. All of our alum that come back feel like they've really been prepared for their courses and feel like they have a step or two above their peers, especially with their writing assignments. And again, it's just the best way for them to prepare for college. And an extra bonus, they can earn college credits. We just had an alum that went to Stevenson and earned 38 credits, college credits, by getting the IB diploma. We have another student that went to MC and earned 21 credits, so there's an opportunity for our students to learn lots of credits. And then if you're in a career pathway and you're not able to fit in all of those IB classes, we do have the IB career pathway. So that they take the IB rigor, those IB rigorous classes, 2 to 4 of them, and then they also get the technical skills of their career program. So it gives a little bit more flexibility, but they're getting each of those that they need. And then just the benefits of IB, again, the transcript, so it gives them that little bonus. The colleges are seeing that they've challenged themselves. They've not just stayed in honors classes, they've taken on those challenges of IB classes. Again, those college credits, as I mentioned before, that toolkit, so I tell them all that college credit and everything is crucial, and it's very nice, but that academic toolkit, that's really what helps them succeed in college and their career. And then we no longer have final exams at Seneca Valley or MCPS in general, so that gives them the rigor. When they take those IB exams, they actually see what college is like, because otherwise they're not going to experience that in high school, and it'll be harder when they go to college. And then there are specific scholarships if they do the IBCP as well. So if you have questions, I'm Mrs. Ersky, the DP coordinator and CP coordinator, and Ms. B. Kraft wasn't able to join us, but she's the MYP coordinator if you're in 10th grade and have questions. Thank you, and and these are the IB classes that we do offer at Seneca Valley. So again, if you click on that QR code, you'll have access and can see the classes we offer. And then I'm going to pass it off to Mr. Martinez.
All right, good evening. So real quick, we're just going to talk about this example of a schedule. So as you notice, this is for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, just what their schedule will look like for the next 4 years. We just want to make sure that each student has math, English, science, and social studies each year, just those 4 core classes, and everything else will kind of adjust appropriately. But yeah, you can find this online, either on the Seneca Valley website or the MCPS website. As for 10th graders, this is just kind of what it would look like. You would take English, either honors or on level, a math class, social studies, either NSL government or AP US history. As for science, they would take honors chemistry or on-level chemistry. They would take a health class, and then a world language or a tech class. And then for their last class, they can either take PE or a fine arts course. However, some of these can be interchanged, like the last 3 courses can be interchanged to like a career program if they decide to, which we'll talk about later. For 11th graders, very similar. They'll always take their English, their math, their science, and their science classes. For social studies, though, they'll be either taking modern world history or IB history. And then for science, they'll either be taking physics or IB environmental science. And then same thing, world language, any other art classes if they're missing that credit, or a PE class or health, whatever they're missing still. For seniors, same thing, always English, math, social studies, science, world language, and IB classes or anything else that they're missing. But yeah, this is just the English pathway, so English 9, then they move on to English 10, either honors or on level, then English 11, either honors or on level, but they also have the option of moving into the IB courses, and same thing for senior year, either on level or honors English 12, and then the IB courses. For social studies, it's they start off, 9th graders started off with US history, they move on to government, then modern world history, and then they can take like an elective course, an elective social studies course, or they don't need to take after those 3 courses. And then the other option would be if they started with AP government their 9th grade year, they'll be taking AP US history, then IB history, in their junior year, and then their senior year, they'll be taking IB History 2. For math, it's a little bit different depending on what subject they come into their freshman year. So whether they come in algebra, they'll move on to geometry, algebra 2, and then their senior year, they can take financial mathematics or anything like that. And then, but it all depends on what they come into their 9th grade year. But this pathway, you'll be able to see online for a more detailed and accurate kind of view. For science, they all started with honors biology, then move on to chemistry, then physics, and then their senior year, they don't need to take science, but they could take an IB course or another elective science credit, or the other pathway was taking both honors chemistry, honors physics their sophomore year, then moving on to an elective science or an IB course, and then the final one was taking just chemistry their 10th grade year, then moving on to IB their junior and senior year. Lastly, for language, so we have Spanish, French, and ASL. They just need 2 credits or 2 years of a world language, and I know some students have already completed that before they even graduate high school, but we always encourage students to take 2 years of a world language regardless if they completed their credit, because it looks really good on the college transcripts. Colleges do want to see 2 years of a world language in high school. But yeah, that should be it. Now, Mr. Grimley.
All right, so we will take the next few minutes to go over career programs that we offer at Seneca Valley High School. They're also known as Program of Study. We offer 10 career programs. You can see them here. They are Automotive Technology, Child Development Program, College Career Readiness and Development, also known as CCRD, Construction Management and Architecture, which branches into several different pathways. We have Information Technology and Cybersecurity, which also branches into several different pathways. Healthcare Professions, Hospitality and Tourism, Law Enforcement and Leadership, Project Lead the Way, which is an engineering program, and we have a military program, which is the Navy Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, NJROTC. Some important things to note with these programs: if Seneca Valley is your home school, which for everybody I believe it should be, you do not need to apply to any of these programs. So moving on. Oh, wrong way. Okay, here we go. All right, so these are the programs again listed. The important thing to note here is if you see an asterisk next to one of the program names, that means we want you to start this program in 10th grade. So that will be Automotive Technology, that will be the Child Development Program, and CCRD, College Career Readiness and Development, is a program that will begin for students in 11th grade. All of the other programs, we suggest that you start in 9th grade, but it's not impossible to start these in 10th grade. Come talk to one of your counselors, and we can give you more information if you're already in 9th grade and you haven't started one of these programs. Okay, so looking at the Construction Management and Architecture program, so this is the first option. So you'll see at the top the different classes that you would take throughout your high school journey within this program. Down in the green box, you'll see highlights of this program. And then in the yellow box, you see certification that students will get once they successfully complete this program. The next one is Construction Management and Architecture. This is another option that students have in terms of a pathway. So again, you will see the course sequence for classes that they would take for this. You'll see highlights and the certification that students will get at the end of the program. Our Healthcare Professions program, again, you see the course sequence. So they'll take a class typically every year of high school until they complete this program. For Healthcare Professions, there's 2 pathways that students will choose from when they get about halfway through the program. So the first one is Certified Clinical Medical Assistant, and the second one is Fundamentals of Pharmacy. Hospitality, Tourism, and Management. So you can take a look at the bottom at what the course sequence would be for this program. And this gives you a little bit more information about each class within the Hospitality and Tourism program. Okay, so moving on to our Information Technology and Cybersecurity program. We have 3 different pathways for this career program. The first one is the coding pathway. So you'll see the course sequence for cybersecurity. You'll also see the highlights, and then you'll see the certification that students achieve at the end of this program. The next pathway is networking. So again, you see course sequence, highlights, and certification. And the third pathway is cybersecurity. Okay, so moving on to our NJROTC program. So if you're a student or you have a student who's interested in possibly joining the military in the future or just wants to get an idea of what this program is, this will be a great program for students to get involved with. Important things to point out here: students are not obligated to join the military if they do the ROTC program. But if you do enlist in the military, you do earn credit towards advancement and higher pay. Our next program is Project Lead the Way. This is also known as PLTW. It's an engineering program, so you can take a look here at the brief description, and you can also see the classes within the course sequence. This one has changed up a little bit. Before, you needed 5 classes to graduate and successfully complete this program. Now you only need 4. And here's a quick description of the classes. Okay, moving on to automotive technology. So this program is going to start for students in 10th grade. So if you're interested in your 9th grade now, let one of your counselors know. We can get you set up with this. This is a double period class. So what that basically means is if you are taking the automotive program, you'll do 2 classes in one day. So you can take a look at the highlights. You can see industry certification that students will achieve at the end of the program. Child development. This is also a program that starts in 10th grade for students. You see the sequence, the 4 different classes that students will take. You also can take a look at the highlights and certification. Our criminal justice and law enforcement and leadership program is going to introduce students to criminology, criminal justice, law enforcement, emergency management and response, and homeland security. So if you have a student who's possibly interested in being a lawyer or a detective or a police officer, or getting involved in politics, this will be a good program for them. And our college and career research and development program, also known as CCRD. So if you have a student who is interested in certain careers coming out of high school, this is a good program for them to explore. Now, if you do have any questions about any of these programs, I would suggest you take a picture of this slide here. So this is going to tell you who the contact is for each program. You can reach out to them via email. They can give you more specific information about each program. And moving on, one more slide. This is more contacts for the rest of our career programs. Didn't we already do IB? Okay, moving on. AP. All right, so we offer several AP classes here at Seneca Valley. AP NSL, AP US History, AP Pre-Calculus. That is a new one moving forward. AP Statistics, 2 variations of AP Calculus, AP Psychology, AP Computer Science Principles, and AP Computer Science Java. So if you really want to diversify what you're doing in school in terms of the rigor of your classwork, AP is a great way to go. It stands for Advanced Placement. If you do an AP class in college or in high school, it gives you the opportunity to get college credit while you're in high school. And this is just a view of some of our other electives that we offer here at Seneca Valley High School. So as you get to like 11th grade and 12th grade, your schedule typically will open up and you have more options as to what you can do with your schedule. Okay, so moving on to physical education. Every student needs 1 school year, so 1 credit of PE. What you'll see here is the different types of PE that we offer. So we have a general PE, which is called Foundations of Fitness. We have net sports, so you want to think about like tennis, badminton, volleyball, those type of sports for net sports. We have basketball PE, soccer PE. We have weight training and conditioning. We have yoga, dance, and then health. So this varies for students. If you are if you're going to 12th grade, you only need half a credit of health. Everybody else is going to need 1 full year of health. And I will now hand it off to Mr. Stevens.
Hello, everybody. My name is Miss Walker. I'm the choral director here at Seneca Valley High School. I just want to breeze through the program we have. So we have Chorus 1 and Chorus 2, non-auditioned ensemble. Chorus 1 is for anyone without any singing or choral experience, and Chorus 2 is for those that have taken high school chorus before. And then our audition ensembles are chamber treble and chamber mixed. If they want to audition, they can come see me in room 753, which is just across the hallway, or email me. My email's on the slide deck or the website. But we're always looking for amazing singers to come work on their technique and their skills and have fun field trips and gigs. So I'd love to have your kids in the program.
Hi, everybody. My name is Adam Stevens. I'm the instrumental music director here. But first, I'm going to talk about our general music classes. General music, these are not performance-oriented classes, but classes where students can learn to play piano and guitar at different levels. We have intro-level classes where if they've never played anything before, they can learn to play them. And we have piano and guitar 1 through 4, so they can progress through the different levels as they improve, or if they have previous experience, they can go into one of the higher levels. Instrumental music classes, we have, again, a class for every ability level and experience level. We have Introduction to Band and Orchestra, so if your child would like to learn a wind instrument, a percussion instrument, or a string instrument, they can take that class. It's never too late to learn a new instrument. We provide instruments for students, so they don't need to own those themselves. And then beyond that, we have concert band and concert orchestra. Those courses require previous experience, but don't require an audition, so if your child has played an instrument before, wind, percussion, or string instrument, they can take that class and just sign up. If they're looking for a more advanced, elevated experience, we have jazz band and advanced band and orchestra. Both of those groups require an audition, and they perform more frequently throughout the year and perform more advanced repertoire. Jazz band takes saxophones, trumpets, trombones, guitar, bass, and drums, and piano. And our advanced band orchestra takes any orchestra or band instrument minus the saxophone. One note that I'll make is in terms of scheduling, sometimes it can be kind of tough to fit electives like music into a student's schedule, especially if they're involved in a program. The county does offer health and the tech credit online, where students can do the work online asynchronously and then attend webinars periodically, and that will free up their schedule to take more electives or whatever courses they'd like to take. So we encourage students to do that. Those are provided free of charge, and that information can be found online. And yeah, music does a lot for the social and emotional needs of our students here, and it's a really great program, and we hope to see everyone next year. Thank you. I'll turn it over to Mrs. Kanai for theater.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Okay, theater is a fine art elective that we offer at Seneca Valley. Thank you. Okay, so to start, everyone does have to take Theater 1 if you are interested. Even if you want to do stage design, play, it does not matter. You still need Theater 1. It is a prerequisite. Moving on, as I said, it is a prerequisite if you are interested in musical theater or you have a child who is interested in being on Broadway. This is a class that they would like to take and should take. I feel like we missed a slide. On top of that, there is play design that's offered at school if your child is interested
in designing stage or wants to work in production once they graduate, that is a class that's offered. They still do have to take Theater 1. It is a prerequisite. Should you have any questions, you can always contact Joanne Fellows. She is the person in charge of the theater department. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to talk about other visual art courses. You have Foundations of Art and Culture, where you are learning about art. You're going to learn about drawing, painting, sculpture, printmaking, etc. At the end of this course, you'll have an art journal. 2D Studio Art, another course where you will end up having an art journal by the end of that course, looking at drawing, painting, 2D studio media as well. Ceramics, a very popular course where you're working with clay, making different sculptures and things like that. Functional Fine Arts and Crafts, it's just another, not necessarily sculpture making, but making art with other forms of materials. Digital art, I like to think of it more as like graphic design and development, where you're creating different graphics. That's an example of other student art. Photography, another popular course, considering a lot of high schoolers already take pictures all day, every day. Animation is also another popular course where you're learning how to make different animations. There is no Animation 1, so you are able to start with Advanced Animation 2. Technology, we talked about it before. All students are required 1 full credit of technology, so we have 3 different courses: Foundations of Technology, Introduction to Engineering and Design, or AP Computer Science Principles. Dual enrollment. This is something for you all to pay attention to. You are able to be a student here at Seneca Valley as well as a student at Montgomery College. You can take just different courses over there for college credit. I see some people taking some pictures, so I'm gonna let you do that. And this information is also on our Seneca Valley website. Internship and dual enrollment capstones. This is for seniors only, so 11th graders going into their senior year. You can contact Ms. Skufska as well as Ms. Blaine. She's our dual enrollment program assistant. I know it says Mr. Yarmus up here, but you will contact Ms. Stacy Blaine. Her information is on our website as well. All right, I'm going to hand it to Ms. Watson.
So as you all can tell, we highly encourage all of our students to really customize their high school experience. This is a time where you can choose your classes, and you can also choose if you want to participate in clubs and activities. These are only a few of the clubs and activities that we offer here at Seneca Valley. So if you're interested in any of these or you want to explore them all, they are all listed on the Seneca Valley homepage. You just need to click Club and Activities. We also encourage students to participate in the athletic programs. So we have different sports offered during the fall, during the winter, as well as the spring. If you are interested in participating in any of the extracurricular activities, you must remain eligible. So you must have a minimum of a 2.0 GPA in the most recent quarter. As well, you must have no more than 1 E on your report card. To calculate your GPA, you would add up all of your grades based on the letter. If you have an A, you would do a 4, B, a 3. You would add them all up and you would divide by 7, which is the number of classes you would have on your schedule. This is very important for our 10th grade students. ACES is Achieving Collegiate Excellence and Success. This is for students who are historically underserved in the college spaces. The deadline to apply for this is next Friday. So if you're interested, you would work with a coach, starting your 11th grade year, and they would help you through graduation for your bachelor degree. All right, now I'm turning it over to Mr. Yarmus.
Right. Okay. Well, you all are a great audience. I would love to ask you one more time to give a big round of applause for our counselors for a long day. It's been a long day. And our administrators, Ms. Ramadi, Ms. Heckard, thank you so much for their support, for being here tonight. Mr. Stevens, Ms. Walker, Mrs. Zersky. But again, thank you all so much for sticking with us tonight. We really appreciate your attention. As I said before, I hope this has been useful. I want to leave you with a few final tips that we just shared in our last forum with the rising ninth graders coming into high school, but it's never an inappropriate time to talk about strategies for success. As adults, we're all still kind of working on these things and improving. So students and families, it's always good to hear the importance of sleep, something that nowadays is made harder and harder by our devices, and light, and so really encourage everyone to get good rest, students especially, get a good 8 to 10 hours sleep. Having a schedule, of course, structure and schedules are really important for success. If you are a student, don't have a strong system of organization, using an agenda, using a planner, using apps on your phone that help you organize, definitely something to look into. Talk with your counselor. We can help suggest some thoughts for that. The importance always of getting outside and staying active, harder to do in the winter time, easier to do the past few days. We've had great weather, but try to find some time every day to get outside and stretch. We hope you're taking advantage, not taking advantage, but using the help that is available to you here at Seneca Valley. I've been in many different schools in my 23 years of public education. I've never worked with a better staff. The teachers and staff here really love the students. I hope you students agree with that. They're here for you. Lunchtime is a wonderful opportunity to take advantage of 47 minutes of teacher support. You can eat lunch with your teachers and visit a different teacher every day at lunch. So ask for help. Teachers are here to help you, as are your counselors and your administrators. Again, if you haven't touched base with your counselor and you need help, your counselors are here. This is a dynamic and wonderful bunch of people in the counseling suite. We're here to help you. Parents, guardians, it's wonderful that you're here and you're involved with the registration process here at the kickoff, but we ask you to stay involved. Your students have their registration cards. If you haven't already, asked them to show them to you and to kind of show you their thoughts about classes for next year. Please stick with them through that process. Sit down and look at the website with them. Encourage them. The importance of challenging themselves and pushing for rigor and stepping outside that comfort zone. That's certainly what colleges and universities want to see, and it's also going to help prepare good etiquette and ethic in the workplace, and set students up for success no matter what they do after high school. So ask them to choose an area of strength and pursue that. Please encourage them to continue with world language or start world language. A wonderful way, certainly an important way to access our IB curriculum or our IB programs, and wonderful for post-secondary life. Sticking with the world languages. Whoops. Let's go back one. And please remind them there's all these resources, everything we talked about tonight, again, on our registration website. Please use it. Would love you to be on it tonight after we leave here and check out the presentations, look at the recordings. It's all there for you. And of course, our team of counselors is here to guide you. And students, again, we'll be meeting with you starting on Monday, depending on your English class, but all the way through the 18th. So be prepared with your registration cards all filled out and ready to go. But don't panic, right? Your counselor will work with you individually to double check and answer any questions you have about the card. Some important final dates I want to leave you with. So again, that says you received the registration cards today. That you actually got them on Tuesday, so you've had your cards for a couple of days. Remember to have your card filled out, ready to hand in starting on the 9th, and we'll be meeting with you through English starting on the 9th. And even after that period, after you've turned in your card, don't panic, okay? You can still just have conversations with your counselors, tweak things, change things, so please don't panic, okay? Any questions you have, counselors are always available to you at lunch, before school, after school. Send us an email, stop by, ask for a pass. We'll help you through this process. Also, parents, I just want to send a quick note for those of you that have a rising senior. If there's any of you in the midst tonight, stay tuned. Around late May, early June, we'll have our annual college information night, so that'll be another important night of information for those who are interested in hearing about that. We would love to get a quick moment of feedback from you. We hope we answered all your questions that you may have had coming into tonight, but if we didn't, as you do the very quick and short feedback form, there is space at the bottom of the form for any questions that you might still have outstanding. Also, I know I'll be sticking around for at least a few minutes tonight after we let out, so I can also answer any of your questions, and we might have a few counselors sticking around too for a little bit. But if you have a specific question, feel free to add it to the question spot in the feedback form, and one of us will get back to you ASAP with an answer to your question. And wish you a safe drive home. Thank you so much for being here tonight and for supporting our students. Have a great night.